In the not-so-distant future, the world had morphed into a dystopian nightmare. Governments had collapsed under the weight of corruption and greed, leaving behind a fragmented society ruled by mega-corporations. These corporations, with their insatiable thirst for power and profit, controlled every aspect of daily life. In this society, the divide between the rich and the poor had grown into a gaping chasm. The elite lived in luxurious high-rises, shielded from the chaos and suffering below, while the masses struggled to survive in the sprawling slums that stretched as far as the eye could see. The corporations had monopolized all resources, from food and water to information and technology. They used their vast wealth and influence to manipulate the population, keeping them docile and obedient through a combination of propaganda and fear. Surveillance was omnipresent, with cameras and drones monitoring every street corner and alleyway. Privacy was a luxury afforded only to the privileged few, while the rest were subjected to constant scrutiny and intrusion into their lives. Education was tailored to serve the interests of the corporations, indoctrinating the youth from an early age to accept their place in the hierarchy and to never question authority. Critical thinking and dissent were suppressed, as conformity became the norm. Resistance was met with swift and brutal retaliation. Dissidents and rebels were labeled as terrorists and hunted down mercilessly by corporate-funded paramilitary forces. The few who dared to speak out were either silenced or disappeared, their voices drowned out by the deafening roar of oppression. But amidst the despair and desolation, a flicker of hope remained. Underground movements sprang up, fueled by the desire for freedom and justice. Small acts of defiance turned into larger acts of rebellion, as people began to awaken to the reality of their plight. As the struggle for liberation intensified, the balance of power began to shift. The corporations, once thought to be invincible, found themselves facing a united front of resistance. And though the road ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, the people refused to surrender to the darkness that had engulfed their world. For in their hearts burned the fire of revolution, a beacon of hope that could never be extinguished.